Oh, hey guys. Hopefully you can hear me. And if you can hear me, clap your hands. If you can't hear me, scream potato chip. Um, I won't be able to hear you scream potato chip, but you can comment potato chip. And this, you know what? I'm gonna post this podcast episode even if you can't hear me. Like, I think a mouth moving with no sound coming out is artistic as hell. But most likely you can hear me. So welcome back to Weird Becomes Popular. It's been 6 months since I've posted. I plan to continue this thing and make it super duper consistent. And I'm not being sarcastic when I say that. I realized, by the way, I slept to my first episode where it was just me talking. I literally slept to that last night. And I must be really boring because it literally brought me to sleep. Or my voice is just calming. Also, I realize that I had a lot to say that first episode. Not only did I have a lot to say, but I said it. I kept talking. There were no lulls in my own conversation with myself. I just kept going and going and going. And it felt good. And honestly, it feels good now. It feels natural. If you're wondering why I haven't posted in a while, which you're probably not, that's okay. I'm still going to tell you why. Because, podcasts are so important and awesome. And we need more people talking about stuff on mics. But I fell in love. I fell in love with the girl. And we've been dating for about since March. We met in January. We started dating in March. So you do the math. It's June. It's July right now. I have the worst flavor of Gatorade known to man. But I'm thirsty, so whatever. Whatevs. So yeah, life has been good, Life is good, Love is good. Love is a good thing. Love is important. Love is very important. Love is the reason for most things. Art is still important to me. Actually, art is more important than love. I'll go ahead and say that. When it comes to art, I have no idea what I'm doing. Ever. But I do it. And it turns out fine. It turns out alright, I guess. But when it comes to love, I do know what I'm doing for the most part. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, love is confusing, love is tragic, love is this or that. I mean, I guess we all have different ways of falling in love. We fall in love with different people at different times for different reasons. And the person that I'm in love with now, I feel that she loves me back the same way. The exact same way. We always tell each other that since we met, we've been in sync. And I'm not gonna lie. Before we started dating, when we were still friends, we started kissing. We would kiss as friends. So we were more than friends before we started dating. So basically, when we started dating, when the public knew about our dating situation, we had already been dating. We were already going on movie dates, So we just slapped a label on it to conform to society. But in reality, it really was love at first sight. friendship kind of love, of course, and then it turned into romantic love. And now it's like, I don't know, man. It's poetic. It's an endless fountain of like looking ridiculous, humbling yourself. It's an endless voyage that involves, sacrifice, time, energy. I roll my eyes at a lot of things that she does and says, but in a good way, if that makes sense. I don't even know if that's a thing. Being annoyed at your partner, but in a good way. Like, you're annoyed, but you're like, but this is going to serve me right. This is going to help me. This is going to teach me to be a better man, actually. Not a better person, because I think in order to be a better person, you need art and God. Art and God. Art, God. Actually, we'll put God first. We'll put God, art, podcasts. So, gap. If you want to know the secret formula to finding happiness in this life, think gap. And speaking of gap, I don't know why this is coming to my mind right now, but I get inspired by certain articles of clothing that don't mix well together, that don't fit together well. Like things that are cropped weird, things that, like for example, my shirt right now. You see how it's doing this little thing? Like that's weird to me, and I like that. I like when I love watching and hearing people, just like I'm doing now, talk to themselves or talk to a camera in an empty room and just talk. I like that. That's the only way you're going to get me to talk. Other than that, I don't talk. Other than that, I don't conversate with people. Other than that, I don't. This is my safe haven. This is my place of solace. This is where I come to think deeply about the world and myself. No one can take this away from me. There's no price tag on this. There's no time limit. There's no creative limitation when it comes to doing a random, spur of the moment podcast episode on a channel that quite frankly has been left for dead. But I'm going to revive it with this. And, I'm telling you, man, a lot can change in 6 months. And a lot can change in a year. And it's not true. You know how people say a lot can change? I don't know if even people say this, and I honestly don't even know what I'm talking about at this point, but I'm going to try to get to a point of something. I'm going to try to get to the point, even though I don't know what the point is yet. But you know how people say a lot can change in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, 3 months? Honestly, no. Change happens gradually. Change does not happen overnight, trust me. It's very rare that happens. I suppose there are rare occurrences, miraculous moments of, eureka or an epiphany of sorts, but for the most part, change comes when you gradually don't give a fuck about whether or not you're doing something the right way or not. Because the right way the right way about doing the right way about the right way to film something or express an idea or make something out of nothing, making something out of nothing, making something happen out of your life, out of your art, out of your situation, your whatever, your life. The right way is not always the best way. The right way of doing things is not always the best way of doing things. And also, the best way of doing things is not always the right way of doing things. Meaning, in conclusion, this means that do what you have to do, but do not expect the same exact results as the next guy who's doing the same thing you're doing. In other words, if you get inspired by someone and you start doing the same things, I was actually just talking to my girlfriend about this literally like 30 minutes ago. But like, the more you try to copy someone, the more you try to be something that you're not, the more you're going to stand out, the more you're going to be yourself, if that makes sense. So like, go ahead, copy people, get inspired, just outright steal someone's idea. But I promise you, it's not going to be even close to what you think it's going to be. It's not. That's not how life works. And the thing is to not be afraid of anything. Because fear is the devil. And the devil loves fear. He loves when you're afraid. The devil loves when you doubt yourself. And the devil cannot create original ideas. He can only destroy or distort an idea that already exists in the first place, something that was already made by God. So, believing in something rather than believing in nothing is going to get you pretty far, but there needs to be a balance of not giving you just cannot care. You have to force yourself sometimes to not care about the things that everybody else cares about in that moment. Your time will come. The fruits of your labor will show eventually, and there's nothing to worry about. There's really nothing to worry about. And excuse me, but there's nothing to worry about. Happiness is a warm gun. I think that's what the Beatles said. But happiness is, and then fame is a gun, said Addison Rae. I love Addison Rae. I genuinely think that Addison Rae did it right. She became a pop icon that nobody knows about. Literally no one that I know listens to her. But she's still doing it, dude. She's still doing it. I made a YouTube video about this. I was just thinking about this the other day. I made a YouTube video praising Addison Rae for making the switch from cringe TikToker to like obscure artist, obscure pop artist. I think that's a can you be obscure and popular at the same time? I don't know. I don't think so. That's kind of an oxymoron, no? But like, I remember I made a video about her, very short one, very brief. It was a brief moment in time for one of my old channels that I deleted a long time ago, like a year ago now, 2 years ago maybe, I don't know. But that channel was called Hummingbird Express, and I I expressed myself on there any way I could, any way I saw fit. Like, there were no rules about that YouTube channel. I regret deleting it. I regret deleting that specific video about Addison Rae because it was so genuine. Like, I wasn't being like sarcastic. Like, reinventing yourself is not an easy task. But if you're willing to experience the same thing in a new way, whatever that may mean to you in your life, then the possibilities are literally endless. I have a lot of people say to me, Ricky, I want to do this. I want to make music. I want to, make something artistic. And it's like, well, first of all, why aren't you just making it? Whether or not you're ready yet, whether or not you have the right equipment, whether or not people believe in you or people see it or care about it or whatever, whether or not any of that, it doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't matter at all. What matters is that you do the thing. And then, even after you do the thing that you've always wanted to do in life, that's still not going to bring you happiness, bro. Happiness low-key doesn't exist. Happiness is not what you think it is. It's constantly evolving. It's constantly changing. It's constantly... In fact, you know how I said the more you try to be like someone else, the more you end up exposing your true self? The more you chase happiness, the more you try to seem perfect or avoid failure, the more depressed you will be, funny enough. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. I don't know. The more happy you try to be in life, the more depressed you're going to be. So don't try to be happy. In fact, life is backwards, life is upside down, life is the opposite of what we think it is. In fact, the more cynical you are, but you also have to be careful with that. But the more like nihilistic you are, or kind of facing situations with this demeanor of depression, kind of like this like under expectation of things, the more when something decent happens, it'll seem like it's like the greatest thing in the world. You're literally going to surprise yourself every time. Like if you go to an ice cream shop or a coffee shop and you say, my favorite drink isn't going to be there, and you already have in your head that you're going to order something different than what your favorite thing is, and then you go there, and they end up having your favorite drink. Tell me that's not going to feel like amazing. It'll feel even better. Somehow, it's weird how humans work and how things work. But like, it's weird how our brains like react to certain things, because that will feel better than if you were just to go and then order your favorite drink. Like just, business as usual, just another day in the coffee shop. But I'm telling you, bro, or sis, whoever's watching, whoever's listening, it's the way that you trick your brain into thinking things that's going to affect your mood and the overall outcome of your life. You have to gaslight yourself. You have to manipulate your reality according to what you want and desire at any given moment. Meaning, if the moment calls for just ordering your favorite drink, then just order your favorite drink. But if the moment calls for pretending like, even if you know that your drink is going to be there and it's going to be available, But if you can try to convince your stupid monkey brain to be like, it's not going to be there, it's not going to be there, it's not going to be there, but then it is there. So then, honestly, that's how manifestation works a lot of times. The thing you want most in life is not necessarily the thing that the universe is going to give you. The thing you want most in life is not what you're going to get in life. I'm sorry, but that's life. That's literally life. So then, keep in mind though, there are a million, trillion, billion, quadrillion, maybe even sextillion other possibilities. Think about it. You might not get the one that you want, but there are all these other ones. So you need to start looking around for your own sake. You need to stop desperately holding on to one idea for the rest of your life. That is miserable. That will guarantee a lot of bad things. And even then, if you don't listen to a single thing I just said, and you disregard and ignore me completely, you could have a way better life than me, and the next guy, and the next guy, and the next guy's cousin's friend's wife's kid. Imagine a kid walking in the park with this ice cream cone. A biker bumps into the kid drops his ice cream, and instead of crying, he understands the concept of, I don't know, strange gratitude, I guess I'm going to call it. But imagine the kid, instead of crying, he thanks the biker for hitting his ice cream cone and making it fall. And he says, "Thank you, sir. I'm going to go buy cotton candy now." I mean, that's literally how I feel like my current girlfriend, the girlfriend I have now, which, current sounds weird. It sounds like I'm going to get rid of her at some point. What I mean is, like, she's my girlfriend right now as I'm making this video. Hopefully one day she's my fiance, and so on and so forth. But what I'm trying to say is that that's literally what happened. I wasn't expecting to fall in love, but I was strangely grateful. You gotta be strange. You gotta be weird about the things that life throws at you. Because if not, you're gonna go crazy. You're gonna be like, why did this happen? Why did I fall in love? Why did my friend, win the lottery and win $1 million and I didn't? Why? You don't know why. You don't have to know why. There is no why sometimes. There is no why to life sometimes. So, like, literally, sorry, I'm getting the 20% battery warning. I have like 7 minutes left until I get to 30 minutes. That's good. I was honestly thinking about how much I'm going to struggle with having enough to say for 30 minutes to fulfill the podcast expectation the rule that I set myself for no reason. And it's perfect. It's beautiful. It's hopefully I'm making sense and I don't sound crazy. I don't want to sound crazy, but if I have to sound crazy to make people believe in what I'm saying, I mean, it's not even a matter of believing it. It's just a matter of that's the way things are. That's the way it is. I guess you do have to believe in it in order for it to work, but don't expect um don't expect life to miraculously become the thing that you've always wanted, because it's not going to happen. You have to do something absolutely insane in order to disrupt the order of things. Because chaos is not always a bad thing if there's order to the chaos. Does that make sense? Am I making sense here? It's beautiful. It's truly it's truly a beautiful thing. The subject of love is something that, I cherish it. I really do cherish love, man. I cherish, you know, I cherish love. I cherish love. I cherish the person that I love, and I want people to love each other. I want people to love one another, not in a necessarily orderly fashion or perfect fashion, but I want people to realize how much love can change the world. One person at a time, one day at a time. It's not just one moment and then that's it. People who perform random acts of kindness don't just do it one time. They do it 3 times a week. They do it 15 times a month. They do it 100 times a year. It's not like a set schedule where they're like, oh, tomorrow I'm going to be super kind to the homeless man down the street at 7 p.m. First of all, it's a little dangerous. But secondly, and most importantly, that's not how kindness should be. It shouldn't be planned and shouldn't be something that has conditions or... Yeah, it shouldn't have conditions. It shouldn't have rules. There's no rules to kindness, right? So, like... Excuse me. Where was I going with that? Kindness. Kindness. You know what kindness is, right? We don't plan for it. You just do it. It just comes naturally. And, people do it multiple times, and it's not a set thing. It's not something that... You don't get anything from it. You don't get anything back from being kind. You just don't. In fact, the kinder you are to people for some reason, the meaner people are back to you. And that's fine. Because literally what goes around comes around. There will be consequences for people who treat you like shit. I promise you that. I can guarantee you that. And sorry if I sound like some guru or some idiot trying to be all positive in a toxic way. I'm not saying that life is a beautiful flower and we must cherish it and we have to be kind to each other. No, if someone's being mean to you, be mean back to them. Give people the energy that they're giving you. Literally. Be humble, be kind, but stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself, stand up for what you believe in, and show up. When it comes to art, show up. Just show up. Trust me. It'll always be worth it. I don't know how this turned into a motivational thing. This is honestly just for me, for future reference, and to hype myself up. And I'm definitely going to watch this right after I hit stop. and also 6 months later, randomly, I'm going to throw it on to get some sleep. So thank you for watching Weird Becomes Popular. Hopefully on the next episode we have a special guest, and if not, I'll just keep doing this thing alone. I don't mind. All right, I love you.